Hi there. So, a question I get asked a lot is, um, you know, what do I put in my newsletter, and how can I come up with different ideas for a newsletter? So, this video is for you if you're struggling with your next idea on what to put in your MailChimp newsletter, or if you want to just breathe new life into your future newsletters. Okay? Okay, so there are many types of newsletters you could be writing for your clients. I'm going to break them down into three different types. Okay, so three different types of newsletters. Yeah, you've got like story, you've got the info newsletter, okay, and then you've got the lesson or the instructional newsletter. So I'm going to look at each one and break it down into different kind of subjects that you could have in each, and we'll see where we go from there. Okay, so we've got three different types of newsletters. We've got the story, we've got the info newsletter, and then we've got the instructional and lesson-based newsletter. What I want to do is apply those three different types of newsletters to different subject matters. Okay, and let's start off with three broad headings. Might be good if you get a piece of paper now and pen. If not, you can play back this video later and do so. But if you on your piece of paper now, just write down three subject headings. So the first one is nutrition. Okay, the second one is mental coaching or mindset or psychology. Any one of those. And then the last heading is exercise. All right. Now I'm going to break down each of those headings into two separate subheadings. Okay. So let's take the nutrition and we'll break it down into nutrition in relation to weight management, and then we say nutrition in relation to general health. And you can do the same for the other two subheadings. So psychology is split into the psychology or the mentality or the coaching behind weight management, the coaching, and then the coaching behind general health, okay, and developing habits, that sort of thing. And then when it comes to exercise, split that into subheadings of exercise for weight management and then exercise for general health. So what you have now is in those three subject areas split into two subheadings, you've got what equates to 6 different subject matter. And if each newsletter was covering each of those subject matter, you've got 6 weeks worth of newsletters based on one newsletter a week alone. Okay, now if we just take one of those subheadings, let's say nutrition as an example, the nutrition of weight management, and we say that's going to be a title or a broad subject area of one newsletter. That newsletter can be presented as I said earlier, it can be presented as a story, it can be presented as an info newsletter, or it can be presented as an instructional lesson-based newsletter. And let me just explain to you what each of those three are now. Maybe you can take some notes as I go through this. All right. So let's take the story. The story is like it's a story from your life. Let's give an example. Like you and some fitness friends have gone out for a meal one evening. You're presented with a menu of things to eat and whatnot. And you're kind of like all like, wow, blimey, what are we going to eat? It's, we want to really enjoy ourselves, but that looks a little bit this and that. We're not sure. So, suddenly you're like, oh, blimey, this is a lot like what my clients go through. Yeah. Now you can write a story about that. Yeah. It's a snippet from your own life, and you've kind of related it, broken it down into how it relates to the subject of weight management for your clients. Yeah. Now it can be a real life event. You can make it up. Yeah. Put a bit of narrative in there, and there you go. Now, we take that same subject matter, the nutrition, nutrition and weight management, and then we say apply it to an info newsletter. It could be more like, say, okay, you've done a bit of research, you've pulled up some research papers that demonstrate the relationship between consuming simple sugars and fat gain over a period of time, yeah, as an example. And then you might have picked up a video that researched a video on YouTube that short video that talks about the science of fats and weight management, as an example, yeah. And so you put those into your info newsletter. Okay, that's another way you could present that information, yeah, that subject. Now, the third type, which is more about lessons and instructional kind of newsletter, you could be taking, once again, nutrition and weight management as a subheading and go, okay, here are the 5 steps to mastering or taking hold of your nutrition for weight management goals. Yeah, so if you want to get on top of your nutrition, follow these 5 steps to get started, as it were. So there you have is nutrition in relation to weight management, split into 3 different types of newsletters. And if you did that for all the other subheadings of the other subject areas, you could have up to 18 different newsletters spread over 18 weeks. Okay, so there's an example of how you can come up with ideas for different types of newsletters presented in different ways, with different types of information presented to your ideal client. Okay, all the best.